In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Stop it for a second. Let me fill up.
It's fine. Yo, we just talked for like 15 minutes and this shit wasn't recording. Hey, yo. Oh,
Jimmy,
fuck.
my time is precious.
I apologize. So, episode 42. I'm going to say, the whole time, I swear to God, I thought this shit was recorded. I thought I clicked record. That being said, I have a special guest, okay? My friend, someone that I look up to in life and in sneakers. He taught me everything with sneakers, all right? Damn, we really talked for 15 minutes-ish, and then that shit wasn't recording.
We'll consider it just a warm-up.
Warm up it is. So, my special guest today on 42 episode is Ryan.
You're killing me, man. You're killing me, I swear. But yeah, what's up, everybody? I'm glad to be here. Glad to be here with my buddy and my little brother, Jimmy. We've known each other for about like 13, 14 years now. I knew this kid before he can see a rated R movie by himself. And yes, I'm awesome. It's awesome. Thanks for bringing me on.
Yeah, that's the first time that ever happened to me. Up to like past 40 episodes, I never fucking click recording.
Someone's nervous.
Little bit. You know what I'm saying? Sorry. Excuse me again. So the first top it off with everything we said. Just a little backstory. Ryan used to be the manager for Ubik.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Well, how long were you working there, you said?
So I was at the one on Walnut Street for about 5 years.
5 years.
I started out in the gallery. Ubik in the gallery. I was there for about like 4, I'm gonna say. Mm-hmm. So about 9 years altogether.
Okay.
I started out as a sales associate.
Okay.
Moved my way to stock boy. Eventually got into a management position. Just kept moving up the chains. I was a buyer briefly for a couple weeks.
I never knew about that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Was this near the end or like in the middle?
No, this was like in the middle.
I never knew it.
Yeah, I got promoted to becoming a buyer.
But still the manager position though, right?
No, I switched. But I didn't like it.
Why?
Well, a couple different things. One is I was not really like at that time not really built for like the office setting, you know. I did not like doing like computer work and like administrative stuff.
So you're not like going out there to actually look for things. You're actually like sitting behind a desk. And
I also went out to the showrooms. Like I was able to see like what was coming out for the next couple of seasons. But for me,
that'd be a dream for me right now.
Right? Yeah. So a lot of people would be like, "Oh, that's crazy. Like, why would you not want to do that job?" For me, though, what I really missed was meeting new people and being able to just like chop it up with just random customers who eventually a lot of them became like lifelong friends. And
I was a customer.
Yeah,
I'm a customer. I have my hand raised up. Teacher, I'm a customer. I really became a customer.
Yeah, so I was kind of like miserable doing that job. Because I just missed that interaction with other people. So eventually I talked to someone else who was working at the store, and I was like, yo, you want to switch?
Really?
Yeah. And he's like, sure. So we switched. I came back, started doing management, and it was awesome. I don't regret it at all.
As a buyer, you say you were doing that for a couple of weeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Was it like, did you, in those couple of weeks as a buyer for Ubik at the time, was it like, have you went outside of Philly or was it all in PA?
So we would go to Jersey.
Okay.
Because that's where we would go to at least like take a look at some of the merchandise and things like that. I never went to Magic in Las Vegas.
Yo, I heard about that literally last year for the first time. I never knew that was a thing.
No? Yeah.
And people go there and promote basically blanks, right? So blank clothing, materials, shit like that. That's what got my attention with Magic. I was like, granted, it's just me because I do want to try to do like a brand one day, but that is like a whole different level. I need to first put the brakes on real fast and see what's out there, as in like brand wise, like blank brands like Gildan, of course, like everyone knows Gildan. Everyone knows what Shaka is. You know, today's world, Shaka is like the new wave right now when it comes to blanks, and it's crazy. I never, because you know, I was always into sneakers and stuff. Like, so when looking into like clothing quality, it's like a whole new world that I was not prepared for.
Yeah, and like that type of detail into things, and just like the amount of product that's out there, and you know, you have people that have been in the game for a long time. You
Like
have startups. You know, Guild has been there forever.
Gildan's been there.
You know, the other part too about it too is like I was at that time I was afraid that if I made the wrong purchasing decision, how would that reflect on me too? You know, it's a lot of pressure because you got to like think about, like, you know, you go to a showroom, and you are shown all the samples that are there.
Yeah.
And there are certain times where, like, you know, you have to make a decision about, like, I think this is going to sell.
Yeah.
I think this is going to sell. I don't think that's going to sell. All while, like, other people are trying to push you to buy some things for, you know, your company that they may know is not going to work, but it's like kind of like, you know, like, if you want this, you got to buy this too.
Yeah.
And so for me, like, I've seen, you know, working in that industry for a long time. It's like when you buy something and it hits, you know, you're on top of the world, like everyone loves you. But when something's sitting there forever,
oh, you're first to scrutinize.
Yeah, you're the first one that's going to be like, yo,
the fuck is wrong with you?
Right, the fuck is wrong with you? Why did you buy this shit? I didn't want that. I didn't want that responsibility either.
I get it though. I get it. But then the fact that you had that experience, I applaud you. I never knew. I never knew that shit, bro.
Yeah, man.
It's crazy.
I've done almost everything you could do in that company. Like, working in the stores, I did loss prevention for a while.
What, Ubik?
With the whole company.
Wait,
everybody.
What do you mean about whole company? I thought Ubik was just a company by himself. No. Oh, really? No, it was under somebody else too.
It was part of It's part. So Ubik was just one part. It's part of like a larger company.
Oh, so like a branch.
Yeah. So you know how like all right, like today, like, you know, like JD Sports.
Yes.
Owns a bunch of shit.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Right. I believe they own Foot Locker too.
Yes. Yeah. So if anyone doesn't know out there, if you look at the apps, it's all the same setup. It's literally the same setup, just different name, which is crazy.
Right. So if you think about it now, like if JD Sports, right, that's their own thing, but then they also own, let's say, like Foot Locker or something like that. That's just a part of their company. Or like when Sneaker Villa got bought out by DTLR, right? So it's like everyone's there's always acquisitions and just taking over places, which is kind of sad in a way, because like there's not that many independent companies anymore.
Yeah,
a lot of those like boutique shops started out as independent projects, and
they couldn't keep up. Some of them couldn't.
They couldn't. You're right, they couldn't. Or some of them did so well that, you know, they got bought out or acquired by you know, a major conglomerate or something like that. But it's weird to me thinking about like how like a passion project for somebody gets absorbed by another place, and, you know, things change.
Remember I forgot the name of it, right? I brought it up, I think, last episode. Nesto doesn't remember, but I feel like you might remember. So you know where on Chestnut is, right? Between Broad and 15th Street on Chestnut, where the theater is. Remember? And where the CVS is.
Yeah.
What was that sneaker store before DTLR?
That was a Villa.
Before Villa. After that, it was something else. It was like a mom and pop sneaker store. Remember, it had Yeezys up top, all them shoes on foam posits sitting on the shelves that was collecting dust.
Oh.
See? I don't remember the name either.
I don't remember,
but you know what I'm talking about, right? I've been trying to figure it out. Don't remember, because I remember that's where I first bought my my Jordan 6s from.
Oh,
my first pair of Jordans.
Yeah,
that's where I bought it. You know what I mean? And I've been trying to figure it out for the longest, and I still can't fucking remember.
You know what? I'm sure there's a subreddit out there somewhere that'll point you in the direction.
Hopefully. But talking about sneaker purchases, do you remember your first sneaker purchase?
I do. So my first sneaker purchase were a pair of Pro Keds, the Lifesavers.
Oh, that's so.
That
Oh
was my
shit.
that was my very first purchase. From like with my own money. They were too big. I actually was wearing like at least a size and a half too big for
So
what my actual size
yeah.
is. And I remember like when I bought it, like I was so hyped about it and like just like wearing them and everything, and I had someone be like, "You're wearing Pro Keds?" And I'm like, "Yeah, like
What's wrong with Pro
what's wrong with Pro
Keds?
Keds?" Apparently, like it was whack at the time, and I was like, oh, like it hurts your ego a little
Yeah,
bit,
it does.
but look I have no shame with it. I'm proud of what I
Talking
bought.
about like wearing something that's not basically popular at the moment. Like, so I never got to buy Nike until my sophomore year of high school, right?
Mm-hmm.
But majority of the time, it was anything that I could find at Ross. So sometimes it'd be Adidas, Reebok. If I got lucky, maybe Nike at best. Even New Balances at the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I remember rocking Rockport. And people will look at me like, what do you know about Rockport? You're literally a freshman in high school. I'm like, look, it was $20. My mama bought me them. They look nice. Little did I know, it was like, they were like, are you trying to be a D-boy or are you trying to be a professional? Like, I don't know what you're trying to be. I'm like, I'm just a student. Oh, that's all I know. But a lot of people didn't know anything about, like in the suburbs, when I brought them over to Mount Laurel area, a lot of people were like, what the hell are Rockports? I'm like, I don't know. Like, you get them at Ross, but if you go around like Kensington, a lot of people around that way will know what Rockports are, which is kind of weird.
Well, no, it's interesting that you say that too. Is that like depending on where you go, there's going to be like a regional preference for like
New
what
Balances,
like New Balances, yeah. But like like I knew somebody who used to have a store in like Germantown area.
Okay.
And I was talking to him one day, and I was like, what's like what do people buy here and all this is about. Just because I was curious,
Yeah.
And he was like, and this was a couple of years ago.
Okay.
So just to put that in perspective, maybe like 5 to 7 years ago, I'm gonna say. And he was like, "Yo, man," he's like, "Reebok Classics all day long." He's
Really?
like, he's like, "I cannot keep them on the shelves." I was like, "Reebok Classics, really?" He's like, "Yeah, man." He's like, "I don't know what it is, but they like over here."
Yeah. I mean, like how Philly at one point was wearing 990s a lot, like the New Balances. For us,
I love 990s.
You know what I mean? You get them at Samson. You get them at what's the other store besides Samson? Athletic Feet or whatever, Athlete's Feet or whatever you call it, Athlete's Foot. Or is that the store? Was store called Athlete's Foot or Athletic Feet?
I think it's Athlete's Foot.
Yeah, and then you got like City Blue. They always were selling New Balances out, and all of a sudden, like the newer wave is like the 550 became a thing again. Well, not again, but like it became a thing. New Balance became a thing again with everyone doing these collabs. And it's just crazy how like in today's sneaker culture and sneaker community or world, it's not what your generation taught me. Because let's say, for example, your generation taught my generation. And when my generation is trying to teach the young generation, it's just colliding like crazy.
I mean,
I get called a boomer, bro.
But that's how that like that what you just said is a metaphor for how life works, right? So like the older generation hopefully tries to teach or pass down something to the younger generation, and there's always gonna be that friction where like you don't know what you're talking about. And,
you're old. Relax. Yeah, exactly. Calm down, Grandpa.
Exactly. But what you were saying about like New Balance, though, what I really admire about New Balance is that they know how to collab very well. They know how, like, and for some reason, I don't know who their marketing department is, but I find New Balance to be geniuses because, like, I love Nike. I think Nike, we all like
they're too
Nike's a gold standard, right?
Too clean.
Who are
Nike?
Well, I don't know if they're too clean
compared to New Balance's collabs.
I think what Nike did. So I appreciate Nike for what they brought to sneaker culture in the sense of introducing like a lot of collabs.
Oh yes.
I mean, you could argue and say that like when Nike first started out with like the Waffle Racer or with like Prefontaine.
Waffle Racer, oh my god.
That could technically be one could argue that could be a collab, right? Because
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
designed for a specific person.
Yeah.
And then you got Jordan, you got Barkley, you got Nike
Athletes.
knows right. They have athletes, and then eventually spawning out to like SB. They're going to the skateboard
Yes.
community. They started. They went through a lot of different artists, store collaborations. So I really think that Nike like really brought that wave to the forefront. But what I think may have happened over time is that it's just too many. It's just too many collabs going on.
I feel like because they milked it.
Right. Whereas I think with New Balance, when they collaborate, they do it with a lot more intention, and they do it with a lot of like smarter precision when it comes to that stuff. So, for example, right, when they started doing their collabs with Concepts, amazing stuff, amazing shoes, amazing work. When they did their collabs with like Colette or let's say like Soulbox, oh my god, the Soulbox and Sneaker Freaker, like when they did those collaborations, they're beautiful shoes, and the thought and detail that goes into it. And it's not like they're doing it all the time, or maybe now they're doing it a little bit more, but like you wouldn't hear from New Balance for a long time,
but unless it was Kawhi and Leonard at one point, and that before that was it.
Right. So Nike and every other Nike, Converse, Adidas, they pumping things out. We don't know what happened to New Balance, right? But then all of a sudden, good case in point here, right? So everyone's doing all these collabs. Haven't heard from New Balance in a long time. Bam. So the Bremberries came out, like I forgot the name of it, but like the blue and pink New Balance collab they did with Soleil Bremberry, where it's like the waterproof one.
Yes,
bam, crazy.
But that's the thing when it comes to like, I feel like, for example, like people, how do I say this? People who are really into fashion, right? Like in our circle, Bert, for example, he knows everything when it comes to fashion, right? You being the sneaker guy that you are into fashion,
Bert, know what I mean? If you are listening to this, I am not co-sponsoring what this man says.
Like you guys knew who Soleil Bremberry was. For me, it was like I heard of him, but I don't know anything about him. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. The level that you and like Bert will have when it comes to like knowing who Bremberry is, Soleil Bremberry is, compared to me. Because I was just more so like, all right, if it's shoes related, I'll look into who the collaborator is. I never brought it out. That's one thing like I realized about your sneaker generation, like people in your generation when it comes to sneakers, you guys branched out like, oh, this is like a trickle effect to this, and then it's like over here, and it's over here. For me, it was always like dead wall. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because like it'll be like there was this one lady, right? Tiffany Bear. She did the Nike Air Max, right? And I personally never got into like behind closed door people until I found out who she was, because she was basically the main brains behind the Air Max. And I was like, all right. Then it branched off of that. Then I got to realize who this was, who they were, this, that, and third. Like when it came to Nike, it was just basically Phil. Mm-hmm. And that was it. Mm-hmm. Like other than that, then you got Tinker, and I forgot your favorite shoe creator. Your favorite shoe, but I forgot the name of the creator.
If you're referring to the Air Force One, it's Bruce Kilgore.
There you go. I'm thinking Pilgore in my head, but I didn't want to butcher his name. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why, like with your generation, I feel like I love it because you guys were able to branch off to different perspectives. For some reason, I guess maybe it's just me. Nope, I just stay in one fucking room.
Well, for me, what I really so personality wise, what I enjoy doing is I enjoy finding information about something and researching and exploring about like where something comes from or why it's that way. Mm-hmm. So when it came to sneakers, I really wanted to learn a lot about the history of how it started, what were the inspirations, like what were the design aspects of it, because it's just more, it's good knowledge to have.
Yeah.
And then what you're saying, like when it comes to collaborations, when I was when I was doing my thing, I didn't know half of the collabs that were going on.
In fact, you still remember it to this day.
True.
And you're not in the game as much as you used to. Can you agree to that or no?
No, yeah, you're right. I'm not.
But your knowledge is still fucking there, which is crazy.
Yeah. Well, back in the day.
back in the day. But your back in the day is different compared to my back in the day.
That's true. But like with I can only speak for myself, right? I can't speak for other people. But back then, it was a lot more like it was a lot smaller in terms of a community.
That is true.
Yeah. It wasn't nearly as popular as it is today, and I'm sure even before my generation was not nearly as popular as it was when I was there. But it was because it was a smaller community.
It was easier.
It was not easier.
No.
No. It was actually it was pretty hard to get a lot of stuff. But the thing about it is that like it made it, this is before apps and all that stuff, right? So you had to do raffles, you had to do campouts.
Yeah.
That to me is the best experience when it came to like, sneakers and just like releases and things like that, because you were much more invested in what you wanted to get. And on top of that, you get to meet a lot of like great people when you're in that community. True. And then, once you get those people, you start reaching out, you start getting other people on it. Nike Talk was the best thing ever back then.
That is true.
And there was this level of like respect that you had for other people in the community and yourself, and everyone, at least that I knew at that time, we were all trying to like big each other up and like and helping each other out to get what we wanted.
But with talking about camp out, since you brought that up, right? What was your first sneaker camp out for you?
Okay. My first camp out. So when the Bacon 90s came out.
Oh.
You remember them, right?
I have them
right there. Okay, yeah.
That's the new release one.
Yeah. I got the new release one too. When they first came out, they sat on the shelves forever.
Did they really?
Yeah, they actually went on sale.
No.
Yeah.
What store was this? Do you remember? I need to know the store too. This is for me, just so I can know.
Okay, I'll tell you the store.
Yeah.
Ubik.
Seriously?
I was working. Yeah, when I was working there as a sales associate, went on sale. You would be surprised to see like what shoes at that time were on sale. And so just to like the Bacon 90s,
okay,
Kashima 97s, Olympic Air Force Ones. Thankfully, the Foot Patrol stabs were not on sale. I bought them, but like Navigation Pack 90s.
But what was popular at that time to make those go on shelves sitting?
White Air Force Ones, black Air Force Ones.
At that time?
At that time.
So that was the main thing at the time.
Those were the main things. Yep. But anyway, so the Bacon 90s, do you know the story behind the shoe?
Yes and no. So I know it's behind a butcher. I've got the names. You know what I mean? I know is it a butcher store or like a meat store in New York?
What's it called?
That's the thing. I don't know. I don't remember.
Okay. All right.
This man knows the whole history behind it.
Let me learn you on this. So the Bacon 90s were a collaboration between Nike and a store called Dave's Quality Meats.
Okay.
DQM in New York.
Okay.
Owner's name is Dave. And the aesthetic of the store was based around like a butcher shop.
Yes.
Right. So if you look at the Bacon 90s, it looks like a piece of bacon.
Yeah. Just different. Cooked, raw.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly. So I missed out on them for the first go around. Cause me too. I was like, I don't really care. When they re-released for the first time, they were only being re-released at the store in New York.
Yes.
So me and a friend of mine at the time, we're just, he texts me. He's like, yo, you want to get them? I'm like, yeah, let's do this. So that I'm gonna say that was it Friday? Yeah, it's probably a Friday because at the time it was Saturday releases. So that Friday, I'm at work.
Okay.
I'm working at my shift at Ubik in the Gallery, doing my thing. After work, I leave with him. We go up to New York. We go to the store. We go to camp out. Right.
Okay.
Camped out all night. We were not too bad in line. Like camped out at night.
First 10, first 15?
I'm gonna say like first 20 around there.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a picture of us, but I can't remember if it's still around. I'll have to look for it. Eventually got the shoes.
Okay.
The next morning,
your size?
My size.
Okay, I had to make sure.
8.5 in Air Max 90s for me. Got the shoes. Went back to Philly. Started my shift again.
So you pulled an all-nighter.
I pulled an all-nighter, and it was honestly,
it had to be brutal.
It was brutal. I was dirty. It was nasty.
You didn't sleep in like the car, or you take the bus?
What car? No, man. Look. We took. What did we do? I think it was.
To take the Greyhound or Chinatown bus.
No. What we did was
Peter Pan.
No. So what the other way to get there? You take the regional rail.
Okay.
To Trenton. Get off at Trenton.
Oh, you take the long way.
Right. Take the other train to
Penn State.
Penn Station.
There's two Penn Stations. There's one in Jersey and there's one in New York.
The New York one.
Okay.
Got there, folding chair in hand, camped out.
You guys didn't try to sleep or like you guys like nobody's like you or your friend at the time?
Nope.
Didn't sleep?
Nope.
You guys stayed up all night talking.
All night.
See, GG on that shit. I slept in the bank next door. You know what the bank I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
On the floor. I didn't give a fuck.
Well, I mean, but the thing is that you're in line with a bunch of people. So you start chopping it up, you start talking and everything, and then next thing you know, it's 8:00 in the morning.
That's true.
So we pulled an all-nighter, got the shoes, went back to work. I don't know how I survived, but
you still have them?
No, I don't. I sold them eventually. There was a time in my life where I was.
You did sell a lot of your stuff.
I did because at that time I was like struggling financially. Yeah. I had to do what I had to.
Well, you were in school. You went back to school at the time too, or just before that?
This was before school. Going back to school for the second time.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Because I remember you showed me part of your collection.
Yeah.
When you went back to school.
Yeah. But like before I went back to school though, I had to get rid of a lot of stuff, and that was
how many pairs?
Painful. Oh my god.
Would you say, for example, if you kept all your shoes right now, all right,
mm-hmm.
How many you think will be in the collection?
If I kept everything,
yeah,
it'd be like 300.
You fucking for real?
Yeah, man.
3? I'm barely breaking 100, bro.
You act like barely breaking 100 is also not a problem.
It's not.
Okay.
I'm joking. I thought 3?
Yeah. I sold a lot of stuff.
Bro, where'd you keep all that? That's what I want to know.
Well, I kept it all in my room, but you got to remember though, if I sold a bunch of them, it would just get restocked again. So it's kind of like a rotating thing.
Rotate.
I used to have to like hide the shoes before I brought them in the house. I don't know if you've ever done that one.
We'll get back to that, but let's take a quick break. I will answer that question when we get back. Have fun listening to interlude music. And we are back. All right. Question you asked was, have I ever had to hide shoes? From my wife, no. But from my mama, yes. So when I used to like resell, I sometimes I just like have shitload of shoes, and I had no choice. I had nowhere to put them. So I'll just like come home with like 5 boxes, and then I'll just leave them in the basement or in my room. And then one point, she actually threw in my boxes because she doesn't know.
Oh no!
So next thing you know, I had all these dead stock shoes with no boxes. So I was like, "What the fuck?" So I told my mom, "Hey, don't touch them. I'm reselling them." My mom doesn't understand. My dad doesn't understand. Like, they don't understand that shit. But
all you had to say was, "I'm making money."
they don't understand. I tell my mama.
They're
all the
Asian
time.
parents, man. Of course they understand money.
I tell my mom. She's like, no. Because then she was somehow included with gambling.
Okay, all right.
That's how she always did it. Like, oh, you do this, you sell this, you're gonna start selling your house. Like, what? How would me selling one shoe start selling in my house?
I don't know, man. That sounds like a.
She a churchgoer.
I was gonna say that.
That's a churchgoer mindset.
It's either that or she's got some experience with that stuff kind
Exactly.
of happening. So,
Exactly.
but yeah, I used to like. So what I would do is I would buy a pair of shoes. I would go home. At the time, I was living with my parents.
Mm.
I'd go home. I'd leave them outside. Come inside the house. Wait till they went to sleep. Go back out.
You couldn't fit it in your book bag?
Have you tried to fit a pair of sneakers with the box in like a JanSport bag? That ain't
True.
happening.
Okay. Fun fact to y'all: JanSport was our fucking thing back then. Oh my god! I think it died with my generation when it came to JanSports.
Oh,
I don't see nobody. Maybe it's because I'm not around teenagers. 'Cause I'm around my son, so like kids are wearing like Power Ranger book bags to like Pokemon book bags, cartoony shit. So maybe that's just speaking from my experience. Because all these high school kids, bro, every time like just because there's high school near my mom's house, nothing but like Supreme book bags. I'm like, the fuck, like yo, how you getting a Supreme? I couldn't even get a Supreme book. I had to get a JanSport on sale at Modell's in the gallery.
These kids today, man, they don't understand. they don't.
Walking around with a Supreme book bag. You know how much that shit goes? Like $200-$300. That's a good amount of money. But how can a fucking 14 to 15, 17 kiss? I'm like, all right, do your thing, buddy. You might be getting good grades and your parents are fucking getting you something.
Look.
I ain't hating on that.
It ain't my business, right? Right? I'm not here to question what you do. I'm not here to question where you got something or why you got it.
Why you got it?
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Moving forward. What was the question that you said you asked? Oh, what was the most most regrettable sneaker sale that you ever did? Man, it's blanking right now. Blanking.
Blinking means I'm thinking.
No, I said blanking.
Oh, blanking. Oh, I thought you said blinking. It's probably got to be. This kind of has like a happy ending to it.
Okay.
I'll put it that way. But when I first sold my Pigeon New Balances, that was a hurt piece.
I remember that day.
Yeah, that was rough. So the way I got those shoes, actually, though. So when I was working at UVic, this guy came in he was from Taiwan, I believe.
Yes.
We're just talking. We're just, like getting to know each other. Like I said, I really just enjoy just interacting with people. And so eventually we exchanged email addresses at that time.
That's that boomer shit.
It's very cute. Very cute. So
we're not going to change numbers. You're not going to text me. I'm going to email you.
Yeah, I'm going to email you. Well, also, I mean, look, I can't, he's from Taiwan.
Yeah,
I can't talk with him when he's over there. So one day he emails me and he was like, yo, he's like, the like Pigeon New Balances. He's like, they're releasing over here. I believe they were releasing at, I can't remember. No, you know what? No, scratch that. I can't remember the name of the store that it was actually releasing at. But anyway, so he was like, do you want them? I was like, yeah, man. Like absolutely. I was like, how much? He's like, I'll trade you. I was like, okay. What do you want to trade? He's like, send me a bunch of hundreds clothing.
What?
So they didn't have the hundreds over in where he was at.
I remember this. Oh, go ahead.
So yeah, so the hundreds, one of my favorite brands back in the day, but like they couldn't get it over there. So he was like, "Yo, if you send me this," because he was looking at the website, if you send me this, I'll just buy them and we'll swap. So I was like, "Bet." Bought all this stuff. Now you got to understand how crazy this sounds, right? I got someone on the other side of the world saying, if you buy this for me, I will buy this for you, and we'll swap it.
Yes.
There's no guarantee I'm getting anything, right?
Yeah,
I could literally buy this person free everything, send it over
because you don't know when you're gonna see him.
Right. I'm probably never gonna see him, and I can't rely on this person to to say that guarantee that they're gonna send me some. So whatever. Bought the stuff, shipped it out to him. Kept up his word. He bought me the Pigeon 575s, sent them over to me.
That's a blessing, bro.
It is a blessing. And that's like what I think is like so beautiful at that time with the sneaker community is how like, yeah, you got some people that are going to scam you. Got some people that might,
but in reality, people will still show love and affection.
Right. So, we maintained this like lasting relationship. And so, we're swapping that. Oh my God. At the one time he's like, yo, do you want the Heaven and Hell New Balance pack?
Wait, what?
Yeah. He's like, I'll get it for you. I said no. Because I know. But anyway, long story short, because we're not going to dwell on this. Otherwise I'm going to get PTSD flashbacks. But so a couple years later, I, like I said before, like, I had some money issues. I need to make some money. So I ended up selling them, which sucked. But eventually I got them back.
Yes, I remember that part. Yes.
Yeah.
Those are so rare, bro.
They are, and you know what? Eventually, though, after I had them for a little bit of time, I gave them away. No money.
To who again?
A mutual friend of ours, I'll say.
Wait, the one that we saw recently at that bar?
Possibly.
Remember? When we went to what was that bar that I took my wife to?
That's the one.
So back first, wasn't originally first to him and then back to you and then back to him again?
No. So originally it was no, he never gave him back.
You know what I'm talking about? I remember when you used to live near me right here.
Yep.
That way.
Yep.
Was to him.
Mm-hmm.
Back to you. And then back to him again. That's how it went, right?
I don't recall him giving it back to me, but if that's the way it went, then yeah.
I don't say that. I don't remember either.
All right, I'm gonna tell the revisionist history then that's in my brain I just gave it to him.
Oh shit!
It's like, here, man, take them.
That is wild because I remember when you showed me them in the room, right? When you were still living on that in that house. I was like, no fucking way. Here's the thing. I knew about New Balance, but all I cared about was the hype shit because that's the only thing that popped up in articles. And when I saw that, I was like, better than if I can't have the SB Pigeon, this is still a pigeon. Staples.
Yeah.
We all know who Jeff Staple is.
Yeah.
And I was like, bruh, the fact you had that, even though, like, fuck the pricing, it was just more so, that's history and someone, how I see it. Because you weren't there, but you were in the game strongly and heavily when Nike SB Pigeons was that little riot in New York.
That was a little before my time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought you were in the game before that.
No. Oh. That was a little before my time.
Shit. That being said, I was like, damn, this man got fucking pigeons. I remember the multiple colorful laces comes with and all that extra shit. And I was like, holy shit. And I was like, one day, my goal was always to have at least try, if they ever were to do another collab with Nike SB or whatever, I got a pigeon. Thank God I was able to get a pair of pigeons, black pigeons. What's crazy though, the black pigeons sat for like $100 when they first came out.
Yeah, it makes sense to me.
And then Travis Scott wears them, fucking shoots up to like $800-900. I got mine for like fucking $250, $350. So I was like, fuck it. Because I try my best not to buy market pricing.
Okay.
Yeah. How about, since I'll bring that up, how do you feel about market pricing compared to retail pricing, like the resale game, as from your perspective?
So I've always been someone who hates the resale market.
Really?
Yeah.
Like how bad you hate it, like,
because
or dislike it, however you want to label it as.
I really don't like it. I'll put it that way. I'll just say I don't like it. I resent it. But
resent it.
Because I was that guy that was in line a lot of times, all I wanted was to get my size, right?
Mm.
And you'll have the person 1, 2, 3 ahead of you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a size 8, right? Clearly, this person is like a 10 to 12.
Yeah.
They go in, they buy an 8, only to resell it.
Yes.
Right? So I know what it feels like to just get like robbed of like what
Has that happened to you before?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. It's happened to me before.
Shit.
So for me, I'm like, I don't like doing like I don't want other people to go through with this.
Mm-hmm.
Through what I went through.
Yeah.
So now I will say though that like again, when you're struggling financially, you got to make ends meet.
Yes.
Have I resold things before? Absolutely.
Yes.
I don't like that I did, but I had to do what I had to do at the
end of the day, when you're back against the wall, who pays your bills?
Exactly.
I get it though. I get it. Like I'm in the middle. Even when I first started, when I first met you, actually no, when I first met you, I didn't know shit about the resale game. I didn't understand shit. I just was taught at that time. People resell. Either you go on like eBay or you go on Flight Club. At the time, Flight Club was our StockX now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's just crazy because like as like more mutual friends that I've met from you, I've learned more and more.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I'll say their name like Al, Phil, Key, and you. The 4 horsemen that taught me sneakers and streetwear.
Mm-hmm.
All 4 of y'all. You know what I mean? And like you taught me like just the business of the sneaker boutique.
Mm-hmm.
Phil taught me the resale.
Mm-hmm.
Al taught me the love,
mm-hmm.
and Key taught me the business perspective.
Like that's like the 4 elements coming together.
That's what I'm saying. Because like with Abacus, Key, Abacus, and then Phil was there, and then you were at Ubik, and then like Al was bouncing. I'll meet Al randomly at both locations.
Yeah,
and that's how I met you guys overall, and I met you literally as a random customer,
mm-hmm.
and I will bug you randomly on the phone calling from the store that I was working at because there was no reception out there.
Yeah,
and I always call you like every week and a half to hey, are you getting the quick strike this? And he said, yeah, if you want, and you always held the pair for me because you knew at like 3:30 or 4 I'll be right there because that's when I get off of work.
Well, that's like that's the importance of building relationships, right?
That's true.
I used to go to another store where they had a different type of account than we had at the time. So back then, we had what was called a quick strike account, like you just said.
Yeah.
So, there were certain limited editions things that we would get that other stores wouldn't get.
Yes,
right?
Facts.
They also had something called an Urban Energy account.
I heard about that, but I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah. So certain stores would get things that other stores wouldn't get. So I eventually, developed a friendship with somebody who used to work at a store that had an Urban Energy account. And, he would call me. He would call me to let me know when things are coming in. And that's kind of like, how it works is that like, as long as you establish that thing. And what I appreciate about you at that time, and still do to this day, is that like, it's not like you were trying to like gaslight me or like, trying to manipulate your way into getting something. You just popped in. I'm assuming because we're here today that we liked each other's vibes and we just came friends.
It was crazy because like all I knew was a manager at Ubik. That was it. You know what I mean? And then from there, we became friends, and then we started gymming together, became better friends, and just trickling like a snowball effect. You know what I mean? And it probably like the best experience, like the most naturalist experience I ever had, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? And it's just crazy because like I'll see you from time because you took the train right in front of the store I was working at. So like see you more, and then even when we go to the gym with you, conversate and just build friendship and relationships over that, dude.
Also clowning the shit out you because you were wearing the wrong size shirts.
Tell the people. Go ahead. Tell your story.
All right. So this man Jimmy here, right? What were you wearing? Were you wearing mediums? Was that it?
It was mediums.
No,
yeah, mediums. But,
okay.
But it was mediums. Yeah, mediums. No, smalls.
It was small. Okay.
It was actually smalls, but I should have worn a medium at the time.
Okay.
And when I was wearing a medium, I should have worn a large.
Okay. So this man over here, the way that I was talking about buying shoes too big, he was buying shirts way too small. I mean, it was an international crime. This man was abusing t-shirts. So he would come into the store and wearing these tight ass small shirts when damn well knowing this man is like a medium or large at the time. And every single time he come in, me and Phil would clown the shit out of him. We'd flame this man. But it was all in good fun.
I never noticed how my shirts were that tight because I was gaining weight because of the relationship I was in at the time. I didn't realize I was gaining all that weight until basically you guys said, "Yo, your shirt's a little too tight right now, my guy."
That's how you know we're good people, though. You know?
I was like,
I'm only looking out for your best interests.
Oh shit, it is too tight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
it's because I care.
I remember this one brand. I forgot the name of the brand, but it was a red tank top, right? It had a bicycle on it. You guys had it at Ubik. I forgot the name of the brand. I have a picture of myself in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was going to get a medium. Phil, I swear to God on everything, Phil was working that day. Phil stopped me. If you want that, I'm getting you a size up. That's the only way you're going to buy that shirt. I swear to God, bro. And that day, moving forward, I always bought looser shirts.
Good. Looser or fitting shirts.
Yes.
Look, again, look. All in good fun. Also, we just looking out for you.
No, I'm now. I gotta stop wearing hoochie dad shorts because my thighs getting too big. leg day be fucking struggling.
Well, that's an image I can't unsee in my mind now. But so thank you for that, Jimmy. I appreciate it. Appreciate that one.
Did I you know he's the only one that calls me Jimmy, and my other close friends because everyone else calls me Jay. So just let y'all know my name is Jimmy.
Who the fuck is Jay?
Me.
That ain't you.
Y'all know me as Jimmy. They know me as Jay. or when I was single, I never used my real name, so my name was always Jay. So when I made start doing the sneaker content,
mm-hmm.
I was like, what would be a good name to start? You know what I mean? Jay.
I'm gonna start calling you James from now on.
YOLO. Moving forward,
listeners.
Moving forward, with another sneaker question I have for you. What is your grail? Like sneaker grails?
My sneaker grails.
I know. I'm not gonna say it, but I know you told me one.
Okay.
I know it's the Air Force One. I know that for a fact.
Which one is it?
Red Clot.
Red Clot is up there.
Yes.
Yeah, I love the Red Clot.
We had a drunk session about this.
Oh, nice.
That's what I remember.
Nice.
Because the whole hour that it was just you and me in the bar, we just strictly talk about sneakers. Because usually when we're out there together, when we're chilling together, we don't really talk about sneakers. We just talk about life. We talk about memories. We talk about just random shit. We really never talk about sneakers except if that's last time I remember we actually talked about sneakers. Top of my head, you, me, Al, and Andy outside of Yakitori.
Okay.
And he was wearing the Bacons, remember? And he brought it up, and that's when we all talked about sneakers. Yeah. Other than that, we don't really talk about sneakers.
That is true. There's more to us than sneakers, right?
Damn right.
No, to get back to your question about the grails. So yes, the clots, the red clots, 30th anniversary, amazing shoe. Just as
the fact that you remember it's the 30th anniversary.
Yeah,
it's fucking crazy. Because I don't remember that.
It was the 30th. Yeah. Because it was they did a whole One World campaign where they went to everybody, like a bunch of different stores and artists and creators collaborating together. But it's just such a beautiful shoe. The presentation of it, it
is a beautiful shoe.
The satin with all the printing on it, and it came in the box that was it had different laces, different colored laces with it. It was just absolutely beautiful.
Would you buy that in today, knowing it's that old? Fuck the money and everything. Would you still buy it because it's that old? It's not really wearable, so it's more of a trophy piece.
Oh, I can still wear it.
Can you? It's kind of old.
I can still look. Do you know
how 15 years?
Do you know how old my Haze Dunks are? They're 2008.
That is true, and you wore those a lot. So I remember you wearing them a lot to a lot of friend functions. Last time I remember you wearing that we were at a mutual friend's house apartment that was really big, and he was cooking us all that food.
Mm-hmm.
You wore those. I looked down, I'm like, what the fuck?
They're great. They're my beaters now. But
Y'all Grails is this man's beaters. I hope y'all know that.
well, look, man. But to go back to your question about would I wear it? Of course I would wear it. Shoes are made to be worn.
Even when it's old?
Even when it's old, there's still love in there. You can wear it.
Yeah, but I'm scared it might crack, separate, stuff like that. You know, like with SBs, the older SBs, the midsole is separating from the top. So the stitching, it's still there, but it's just like the glue, of course, is dissolving and it's like separating. I'm scared it might crack the midsole. Like the little part, wherever that area is, where the stitching is. That area of the stitching on the midsole.
Yeah. Look, there's always that possibility that it'll crack. There's always the possibility that the depending on the shoe, the airbag will deflate.
Yes.
There's always that possibility of whatever happens to a shoe, because you're right, it's about the nature of time.
Yeah.
But for me, there's nothing better than actually wearing what I bought. Because, like I could tell you, I have a lot of memories associated with almost every single shoe that I have. And for me, it's like when I actually wear it, I feel really good about myself because I know what it took for me to get this.
Yes.
And for it to just sit in my room or
collecting
in my closet collecting dust, it's not, for me, I'm not giving myself or the shoe the respect that it deserves.
I respect that.
Yeah.
I respect that.
Yeah. Plus, big plus, it's very nice when you're wearing something like heaters on your feet and people, where the fuck you get those from? We're like, yo, it's clean. It's like, you know
bro,
what I mean?
I remember like talking about being clean when you were still working at Ubik, right? I thought I was a shit wearing Supras. Yo, Ryan's face just went down. That feel that you said clean, I had the same feeling about Supras at one point because one, it was like a high top, right? And skinny jeans was still a thing at the time.
So the Super Sky Top,
basically,
okay,
yes. And just like that skater / like streetwear look to it, it was just like a nice vibe for me. But then I realized after like 6 months of like dying, I'm like, I'm going back to my Nike SBs and Air Maxes and stuff. You know what I mean? Because at the time, I didn't really fuck with Jordans because like I grew up watching like your generation mainly doing SBs, so I was like so into SBs where like I'm not gonna do Jordans. Find out in like 2011, end up buying Jordans and look at me.
Things change, right?
Yeah.
Look, I've
never seen you in Jordans. Talk about that.
Well, there's a good reason for that.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not a Jordan shoe guy. So here's my philosophy. And there are some nuances to it, but generally speaking, I feel like if depending on like there's certain shoes that people buy.
Yes.
Yes, one because of whoever has it, right? The other part could be, you're looking up to somebody, or whether it be an athlete, a rapper, whoever, and you're like, I want what they have. Some people buy shoes because of like the technical aspect of it. I've never been a basketball guy. I can't hoop. I can't dribble right. It's not my thing.
But this man's strong as shit.
Yeah, but that strength that got nothing to do with hand-eye coordination when it comes to that, right? But like I was never really into Jordans because I was never a big basketball person. I'm much more of a running, outgoing, active guy like that.
I've never seen you ever in a pair of basketball shoes, bro.
You have.
Where? When?
I'll give you 2 of them that I wear.
I've never seen.
Matter of fact, I'll give you 3 basketball shoes.
I always see you in like trainers, SBs, and that's basically it.
So 3 basketball shoes that I will wear.
Oh, I know what you're about to say. I realize what it is now.
Tell me.
Air Force.
Air Force One.
Because that's technically a basketball shoe.
Right. What's the second one?
What?
Dunks.
Oh, shit. You're right.
What's the third one?
I don't know.
Blazers.
Blazers are considered basketball?
Mm-hmm.
I never knew that part.
Yeah.
That I'd never realized or knew.
Yeah.
But dunks, I know originally it was for basketball. They started off a college thing.
Well, yeah. So you have the old school pack, or with like the Michigans, UNLV,
Yep.
Syracuse,
Damn, my
Villanova.
Man, naming all the school he remembers.
I think there might be another one that I can't remember off the top of my head. But anyway, yeah, those are.
I forgot dunks are fucking basketball.
Right. If you look at like the way that they're designed or the way that they're built,
yeah.
You can tell that it's a basketball shoe, and this is where like the technical aspect of it comes from. All right, so let me try to teach you some things. Give me a pair of dunks.
So took a quick another little break. You were saying about the Nike Dunk?
Yes. So if you look at the Dunk shoe, the way that it is constructed together. So you know how like it's double stitched over here, like where the toe box is, everything. There's an extra layer of material, right?
Yes.
So when you're playing basketball, right?
Okay.
And you're constantly planting your foot, right? If you don't have this extra layer here, there's a great chance that you're going to wear out the shoe.
Oh.
You're gonna rip it. You're gonna tear it. All that stuff.
Got you.
Even like same thing with the backside. Even with the way that the way that Nike is stitched on here, right? It's all constructed for certain movements. Things like that.
Okay.
So, but at that time, if you even go with the high top, right? You have the high top shoe. You got the flaps on the side. It helps with more ankle stability.
Yes.
So there's a lot of technical aspects that go into these shoes that we don't really think about.
Yeah, this shit down to the fucking T.
And like and it's also that's why the Dunk shoe is also a very good skate shoe, because if you're now full disclosure here, I don't know shit about skateboarding, but what I do know is that like when you're kick flipping or when you're doing whatever, you're gonna rub the grip tape.
That's
onto
why
the shoe.
That's why it's thick.
Right. So the Dunk is again another basketball shoe. Blazer, same thing. Those are the three basketball shoes that you will probably see me wear. When it comes to Jordans, though, like again, it's not my style. It's not what I like. I personally find a lot of Jordans to be uncomfortable, but that's just me.
That makes sense, though. A lot of people agree with you on that, and there's really not that much comfortability when it comes to Jordans, because I remember in early 2010, Jordans quality did go down. You know what I mean? And mind you, all my Jordans at the time were older, so the material didn't switch over yet. The quality didn't switch over yet until I got like the Great Fives. That when they re-released, I was like, holy shit, my feet hurt. What kind of shit is this?
Well, also you got to think about too that they switch factories, they switch countries that they will produce things in.
True,
it went from what made in China to made in Vietnam,
and then
Bangladesh, right? So, and there's going to be cost cutting measures, which I understand. It's going to be
yes and no, but at
subpar.
least keep the quality. You're like, remember you said like Nike is the pinnacle of like all brands. You know what I mean when it comes to like sporting attire and shit, like sneakers as well and whatever. But like when you're up there and your name is that big, I think in their head, like regardless of how we treat these products, they're still gonna fucking buy that shit.
So that's the thing, right? Nike,
my dumbass still bought it,
and I'm sure they know that. They know that people are gonna still buy it. However, what you're seeing nowadays is a lot of things are either sitting or the resale market is
I love it
down. Right,
but here's the thing though, like when they're sitting, like they're not going on sale fast enough. So back then, Jordan, when Yeezys took over, Jordans were sitting, and they'll go on sale, and I'll wait till go on sale to buy a couple pairs.
Yeah,
for myself.
Yep. And
I was like, now it's like, oh, sooner or later someone's gonna buy it, regardless if it's on sale or not.
Right.
Like Air Maxes, they go on sale. Yeah. And guess what?
Well,
I buy them.
Prices are insane now.
$150, $160 for a fucking Air Max 1.
Right. And you remember when I went on a whole rant about the color of the month Air Force Ones. I am not buying them shits for $150 to get with a fucking toothbrush.
Well, I got my pair for $94 and $95. I bought.
Yeah, exactly. Which back in the day, Air Force Ones, $90.
Was it really?
That was but even before that, 75.
Okay.
So what you're seeing with the market is that it will go up for a little bit, but then it'll usually
correct itself.
It'll correct itself.
Yes.
Yeah. Going back to your other question though earlier about like my grails, right?
Yeah.
So we went through the Red Clot Air Force One, Kid Robot Air Max 1.
Really?
One of my
I'm surprised with that one.
I love that shoe. Because it's so simple. It's just a black leather shoe, perforated toe box, pink laces, pink Kid Robot on the back. Love it. I've seen them once in my life in person.
I only see them in pictures.
I saw them in person. I don't know.
How rare is that shoe though?
Oh, at this point, I have no idea, but I would imagine it's pretty fucking.
When you wanted them, do you remember how much they were going for?
No, they were over a stack at that time.
So imagine now.
Yeah.
Talking about grails, since you brought up your grail, one of my Air Max grails, which I showed you. Remember I told you? I got the Atmos ones, but then were stolen. So it was like, I was like so excited. Like that's literally of all grails, top 5 grails of all time, period. So I have 2 of my grails out of 5 shoes, like my top 5.
Nice.
And they lost. They got lost in them.
Yeah.
Because FedEx, you hear me, little bitch, FedEx. But another one that I feel like I should have copped it before it went up, 112s.
112s.
Air Max ones.
Okay.
DJ Clark Kent ones.
Okay.
Those is just like that neon translucent like electric green or yellow, and then the elephant print 3M is just.
It's called Volt yellow or Volt green.
Was it? Oh, that's the proper term for it, good sir.
Proper term. Come on, you gotta get your colors right.
Oh my god! But no, it's like the grails. When you get a grail, it does something to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like, have you ever got any of your grails like you purchased yourself?
No, I have. I'm not, because I don't want to spend that money. But also for me too, like, you know, it's different when like now you can just buy it online instantly like that.
Yes.
Right. It's not as rewarding to me because that's all I have to do. Like camping out for things, exchange, like meeting people, and then figuring out like when something drops. Doing that, like for me, it's more about the experience of getting of the process of getting it. I don't know about you, but for me, like it's one of those things where like if I really want a sneaker, like I'm dead set on it. It's a big thing for me, and like I'm doing all this work, I'm doing all this research and stuff like that, and I get it. It's not as rewarding when you get it.
It does.
You know, like for me, it's like I got it. Then what do I do now?
Yeah.
You know. So, but it's that drive. It's that thing that like that part of you that like you want to do whatever you can to get what you want.
But that's the issue with that. Not the issue, but the dilemma that I had, right? When I officially got into sneakers and I started being able to buy my own shit, I couldn't get the Jordans because everybody was reselling them. SB was dead, basically. You get SBs for like 50 to 150. We're talking about like Blue Lobsters, Red Lobsters, all of them shits, MF Dooms, all of them shits. The only thing you couldn't find, and it was still at affordable prices, was What the Dunks, and they were going for like a rack and some change compared to today's fucking sneaker community.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like, I was always focused on SBs. That's why like buying like resale shit or like buying like anything that was in store wasn't affordable compared to SBs. I was like, why spend, let's say at the time it was like what, 170, 185 or whatever, when I could buy 2 pair of SBs. Yeah, they're used, but for the same price.
VNDS?
Exactly. You know what I mean? So 2 for 1. At that time, college student, you know what I mean? Working a dead end job, like what the fuck? Might as well get my money's worth and get fucking 2 shoes instead of 1.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But that was always my perspective when it came to like the resale market and all that crap. But it's crazy though, man. It's crazy. Like when it comes to like just being rewarding, because like you said, like camping out. Another thing was because I grew up where technology started becoming a big thing. You know what I mean? and I was very reliant on it. Of course, eBay and all that bullshit. And it's like, even today, I wish I could camp out, but no one does camp outs no more. I would love to camp out. Granted, I'm not like I'm gonna sit out for 10 hours, but then like people will be like, oh, why do that when you just go in the app? Why? Because there's fucking bots out there.
Right. Well, also, when it comes to like when you're talking about like campouts, and this goes to my point is, it's not necessarily getting the shoe. It's about the experience of doing it.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like
these kids now, they won't.
Right. Well, I understand why. I understand why it doesn't happen anymore. But at like back when it was like a big thing, it was a great time. You're camping out with people. You're drinking together. You're just having.
You know
a good
what's
time.
crazy? When I first turned 21, right, I did a camp out. I forgot what shoe it was. I had my first Four Loko outside the store. I remember.
Right?
It was watermelon. Phil got me my first fucking alcoholic when I was turning 21. The man looked at me. I remember. He's like, really? I'm like, yes. He was like, why? I was like, I don't know. I like watermelon, man. I'm sorry. He would not stop. Like, he kept on looking like, because like when you first told me, you want like something like typical, like not typical, but like something that's more, I would say, how would I say this? More appealing to when you turn 21. Instead, my dumb ass got crack juice with watermelon flavor.
I've had many a Four Loko in my day.
That was the last Four Loko I ever had. I'll say that.
Good for you. Good for you.
I remember because that was the last time I ever had Four Loko. Because like that shit just fucked up my stomach. I don't know why I drank that shit.
But as you're reminiscing about it, right? Which would you rather have, that or just going on an app and buying it and that's
True.
it? True.
Because I remember that night, Phil also got me Wendy's because like he's like, you need to sober up. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
He got me fucking Wendy's. I remember that fucking day. I don't remember
the community, right?
Bro, it's crazy because like with the campouts and everything, I do miss it. But then like the convenience is like, like what's more authentic, what's more appealing? Of course, a campout is.
Mm-hmm.
But what's more safer? What's more easier? What's more like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, look.
Click of the button of 10 minutes, you wait, you win or you lose.
Right. Yeah. Look, there's going to be pros and cons to all this stuff,
Facts.
right? And I know I sound like an old person when I keep reminiscing about these things, but
I love them stories, bro.
Look, and that's the thing is like stories are what makes us, right?
Mm-hmm.
The stories that we have about things and the shoes and why we love the ones that we do.
Yeah.
Right. It's and that's the unique part of
it is
your experience. Anyone can go on an app and do all this stuff, right? Mm-hmm. But it's very different when like if you look back on the people that you have met and the experiences you had and the memories and the times that you've tried and failed to get something.
Fun fact, I've never failed a camp out yet.
You've never failed a camp out.
I'm so wrong. I'm lying. I am mistaken. I failed once.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the Concord 11s.
Okay.
That was it. That's my only fail. Because I after the campouts, they started doing raffles. That's why.
Oh yeah, that makes
sense.
That's
why I just like put my name in every fucking like villa at the time or like Kicks USA. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
That's why.
You know what I really miss though? I really miss doing the mom and pop shopping. I've gotten so many good gems from mom and pop stores.
There was one in Germantown, near Germantown, right? Where there's a villa. Across the street from the villa was a mom and pop shop, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the name.
Shoe Plus.
Damn, you know what I'm talking about then?
Yeah.
Because the villa was at the corner.
Yep.
It's Korean family.
Mm-hmm.
They were the fucking sweetest. And this is around the time I met you, right?
Mm-hmm.
A little bit after I met you. They would have shit sitting. No one knew.
Yeah.
Crimson 3s. Fucking Bel Air 5s. Around that time, I remember because I'm all out. But they're like, you have to be cash. They'll hook me up. Every single time I came by, they always gave me this I forgot the name, but I bring it up to you all the time. That's how I got introduced into this Korean dessert or snack. It's that like mochi thing with like sesame filling inside.
Mm-hmm.
That thing. What's the proper name for that?
I can't think of it off the top of
But
my
you know
head.
what I'm talking about,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's how I got introduced to that. And then I started eating that shit at like H Mart. I started buying at H Mart.
Nice.
And I was like, yo, they were so sweet to me. It was like she wasn't old, but she was like old enough to be like around 45 to 50,
Yeah.
maybe even 60, like around there. And so sweet, bro. Like stores like that, oh my god, you just made me remember that.
Yeah,
shit,
man.
bro.
Yeah, look. Me and a great friend of mine. We used to go sneaker hunting at different stores. Like,
What's the
different mom and
furthest you ever drove for something like that, though? You remember? Or just around here, mainly?
I mainly stayed. Well, no. I mainly stayed around in Philly, but like just like doing things like that, like going to like different stores, like whether it be like Shoe Plus, Joseph's, whatever.
Joseph's.
Going on the Margaret Orthodox station, there's a bunch there.
That's the one in Kensington, right? There's a shop underneath on Kensington.
Yeah.
It's still there to this day. Living in color.
Yes. Oh my god, in Living Color. Yeah, exactly.
It's still there to this day, bro.
But like, so just to let you know about some of the gems that I got from these stores. Curry Air Max 1, the original,
what?
$40. I got all 3 Air Safaris that came out at around that time. So you have the original OG one,
yes.
The orange with
you had
black
the Currys,
the navy, and the Darkwood Air Safaris. All 3 of them, I got them for like $40 each.
Oh,
great! I almost got a pair of Air Icaruses, but at that time the foam was like done. But I do miss those days of like just going around and hunting and looking for stuff.
Now in today's
Vectors, I got Vectors for like $40.
Where's Vector?
They haven't retro. I am waiting for them to retro the Nike Vector. It was a I want to say it's kind of like a running shoe, but like it was a very slim profile, green, black with a hint with like orange accents on it. Anyone out there, if you don't know what I'm talking about, Google it. It's an amazing shoe.
I'll look it up after this. I don't remember that shoe.
But it was a fantastic shoe. It's a very, very low profile shoe though, but
low profile. This man got his terminologies on point. Education.
But it was great shoe. I think I got for like $30.
Ooh,
something like that. Like, and that's the thing is like is that like you don't really have that anymore.
Because everyone wants to resell shit now.
Yeah, and also like a lot of those stores like either are no longer in business or like
they know what they have and they fucking resell that shit themselves.
Right. Or they had to like change strategies with like what they're going to sell to people. But yeah, it was a great time,
bro,
to go through that.
Now that you brought that up, part like just find hidden gems. So for me, it was always like what at the time was what can I walk to? Because I didn't have a car at the time, so it was just me walking like South Street, Center City, and they would mainly have Samson Athletics feet or whatever,
and Olympic
Sports. There you go.
Yeah,
and
City the Net.
Blue. The Net. Where was the? Oh, that was in the gallery.
They also had one on Chestnut.
Did they really?
Yeah.
I don't remember the one on Chestnut.
It was where
I remember the gallery,
the Target area, like where Target used to be.
So that's the thing. I never really walked past. So it was like up to Urban Outfitters, which was 18th Street.
Yeah,
and then that was it.
Yeah,
I never walked past that.
Well, like when it comes to like Samson, like Olympia, like the Net, all that stuff. I think a lot of people realize that those are also mom and pop shops.
No one really realized that.
Yeah.
Do you consider City Blue mom and pop?
Yeah, I do.
I remember those days, man.
Yeah, I worked at City Blue for like 1 week.
Really?
Yeah.
Bad experience?
No. It was a great experience. Actually, I like, but the problem was that like it was way too far away from where I was living at the time.
Was this the one in the city?
Cheltenham Mall.
Woo!
So you can imagine like me trying to travel out there using SEPTA.
45 minutes an hour, basically.
Hopefully.
Oh.
So I had to make the decision that I couldn't.
Yeah, it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
But actually, that what the way that I got started with Ubik was at that time, I was in school. I was like looking for a job anywhere.
Yes.
And I walked into Ubik in the gallery, and I was just like, "Can I have you guys hiring? Like, can I have an application?" The manager at the time was Korean, and he was like, "You Korean?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Just fill it out, give it to me." Filled it out, gave it to him. I actually went so I went to Ubik, I went to the Net, I went to Olympia, I went to Dr. Denim, to
Dr. Denim,
which was like the sister or brother company to the Net. They were.
I never knew that part, but I remember Dr. Denim.
Yeah, so I went everywhere to just find a job, and eventually, that person was like, "Yeah, just give me your resume." Gave it to him. And that's how I got started. And
started because of hey.
It all started because of my ethnicity. We gotta look out for each other.
My people barely look out for them, for me, let alone themselves. Like the fuck, Vietnamese people are so angry about everybody.
Well,
Am I wrong?
You ain't wrong, but you ain't right. I'll put it that way. But I do think about that, especially now because I'm in a whole different field and career. But if I didn't go to that store, how my life would have been different.
That is true.
You know what I mean? Like.
And you were there for a long time too.
I was, and I'm very grateful to have gotten that opportunity to at least start there, because again, like that's how I met almost everyone that is in my support or my friend circle. Like I'm very, very glad and happy to have had that experience.
That's true.
But also imagine I can't even think about like what my life would be like if I didn't walk into that store.
True.
And I have a very deep appreciation for that company, because not only of the experiences and not only because of like the people that I met, through all that, but like it really gave me like a certain trajectory in life.
That's true.
And I can't say enough good things about where I came from in that thing. And I always think about like, are there ways that I can give back? I had some ideas in my head about how to do it, but like it, right now I'm not at that space to do it.
Yeah.
But eventually.
That's good though, man. Like it's crazy, like just how you impacted a lot of people too.
Yeah.
In like the bestest of ways though. The bestest of ways. And like how you met a lot of these people just through sneakers. It's just crazy. And like people out there don't see this perspective. They see the money perspective and the bot perspectives and the greed perspective, but don't see the humbleness, the silver lining, the positivity side. This right here is the positivity side. You know what I mean? The other side, I'm gonna stab you for $1.
Yeah, look, it's there are positives and negatives to everything, right? Yeah. So like I've been talking a lot about the positive things about like everything I talk like meeting people, experiences, all that stuff. Yeah, are there negative sides to it? Absolutely.
Fair.
There's a reason why I'm no longer in that business, and I moved on to something else. But it doesn't diminish the fact that like even though there were a lot of shitty times, or like I could think back at times and I'm like, especially working like just in retail in general, it's just like why do I go through this? But like I can look back on it and say that all in all, like I'm grateful and I enjoyed it, and it's like I learned a lot from doing those things. That actually really helped me even in a different career today.
That's true. That's fair enough. Well, that ends it for episode 42, y'all. Thank y'all for listening. Thank you for coming on. You know what I mean? I appreciate you speaking all those wise words, and hopefully people that are listening take what you say, put that shit into their life, and be a better person.
I appreciate you for having me here. I really enjoy seeing what you're doing.
Be honest, it's because my wife. My wife never has supported me. This I would never even make an account or none of that shit. I'd just be an old man, just like, why are these young fuckers doing this?
just wait, man. Once you say the words, you'll understand when you're older. It's over for you.
I say it already at work.
Oh, that's just a wrap. You done. But no. But honestly though, you know, like I'm super proud of you. I'm super proud of like what you've done in your life.
I appreciate
what you're doing now to give information to other people or to just, you know, get your voice out there.
This podcast is mainly sneakers, jokes, and like just like information. That's all it is. And like this probably is the first episode that I didn't have to fucking make no racial jokes like that, because when me and Nesto make jokes, it's like a war game. But that's like how me or his friendship is, you know what I mean? That's because I like how I met you at Ubik. I met him at the gym, and he was a worker at the gym. Now he's one of my closest friends as well. So it's like, you know what I mean? It's crazy how things are in this life.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So
can't wait to see what you do next.
I hope, hopefully, a sponsorship at SneakerCon somehow. That's what I want. Anyways, y'all, thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for tuning in. Before we end it, please follow my IG, my TikTok, my YouTube at FreshPhilly215. Have a nice day. Have a nice night. And you will hear from me and us and anyone else next week. Deuces.